Welcome back. Looking at our top stories tonight. Police investigating Auckland's body and the suitcase mystery believe it was a kidnapping gone wrong. And they say an arrest is close. 19-year-old One Bow's body was found in a suitcase floating in the Waitemata Harbour on Good Friday. It's believed he was being held for an $800,000 ransom.
A flash flood has forced a group of about 30 South Auckland residents out of their homes in Papakura tonight. The massive downpour from a line of thunderstorms moving across the region also caused problems for motorists on some roads around Auckland.
Petrol prices have surged another 6 cents as the cost of crude oil soars amid fears of military action against Iran. The record price of nearly $1.68 for 91 grade is having a positive spin-off for public transport, with intercity bus services reporting a big rise in passengers. This may be the answer to our petrol woes. A Palmerston North inventor believes vegetable oil can be used as a reliable motor fuel. And to prove it, he's driving the length of the country in a car powered solely by cooking waste from McDonald's. James McDonald hopes to patent the engine modification he's spent 2.5 years developing.
You can use hemp oil, vegetable oil, tallow, chicken fat, etc., etc. So any hydrocarbon chain.
The veggie oil trip from Bluff to Cape Reinga is expected to take a fortnight.
The big red sheds are about to get bigger. Today, the warehouse started selling wine and beer at one of its Tauranga stores, and that's just the beginning, as the warehouse is talking openly about taking on the supermarkets.
Sophisticated talk of subtle tannins and citrus overtones are probably the last thing you'd expect to hear in the warehouse.
It has a refreshingly long and zesty palate. Sounds nice. Very nice, doesn't it?
But get used to it. This beer and wine store within a store concept opened in Tauranga is the first of many the Red Shed plans to open throughout the country.
250 different types of wine, all the brands of beer. It's pretty much the offer you'd expect to find in a supermarket.
And the diversification doesn't stop here. The warehouse are planning to sell fresh fruit, meat and vegetables in store, and some will even have cafes and in-store pharmacies. The first to have every one of those will be the massive 12,500 square metre Sylvia Park store being constructed in Auckland.
It's really about trying to get the customer, give the customer an opportunity to get everything all under one roof.
While this couple says it can still get better prices down the road, the convenience of it might just get them buying anyway. Erica Wood, One News.
In just over 2 hours, Wellington will be rocking to the Rolling Stones. The band left their hotel a short while ago with drummer Charlie Watts and guitarist Ronnie Wood signing autographs for fans. Around 40,000 people are expected to pack Wellington Stadium. It's the first time the Stones have played in the capital for 40 years.
Selling a humble paperclip over the net isn't a new idea. An Auckland photocopier technician sold one on Trade Me last year for a whopping $173. But what about trading a paperclip for a house? A Canadian man thought he'd give it a go, and believe it or not, his scheme is working.
When Kyle McDonald, a 26-year-old from Quebec, started this project, he was just a man with a red paperclip, a website, and a dream: to trade a twisted piece of metal and plastic for a house.
I'm not interested in a down payment or mortgages. I'm trading for a house. Like, I want to own the thing outright. And my girlfriend and I are going to move there and live in it.
No matter where it is?
No matter where, yeah. Which is sometimes a scary thought.
In 9 months, he's made an astounding series of trades.
Started with one red paperclip, traded that for a pen shaped like a fish. Traded the pen shaped like a fish for a doorknob. Traded the doorknob for a Coleman camping stove. Traded the camping stove for a 1,000-watt electrical generator.
And then he traded the generator for a keg of beer and a neon sign. The beer, somewhat unbelievably, for a snowmobile. The snowmobile for an all-expense-paid trip for 2 to the Canadian Rockies.
Yeah.
The trip for a moving van. The van for a recording contract at a studio. And this week, he's trading that recording contract to musician Jody Gannant.
The boys at the door got control of the floor.
For a year of rent-free living in her apartment in Arizona.
I do crazy things all the time, and this was perfect.
McDonald is almost there, but not quite. He admits there are probably easier ways of getting a house.
I don't really have a plan B, so this is kind of the kind of thing that I need to actually finish.
For that rent-free apartment in Phoenix, McDonald is now being offered a lowrider truck, a 30-second fully produced commercial, and 24 hours worth of lap dances from a stripper in Japan.
Do you think there's a book in this?
I definitely do, yeah.
If and when McDonald gets his house, which he hopes to do by July, he plans to write about the journey. Then he plans to go shopping for more paper clips.
Here you go, I've got one. What do you guys give me for it?
I reckon plenty.
Right, time to move on to sport now anyway. And can the Black Caps do it against the South Africans?
I don't know. Are you confident or not?
Well, you know, it's obviously hard to get runs on that wicket.
The latest weather conditions we have here, overcast, which means the ball will swing around. We'll have all the very latest shortly, but first tonight, Eden Park fans know all about heavy-handed security, but that's...
Winds off, gentle westerly and a high of 19, and some morning cloud for Auckland, then fine and sunny with a mild high of 21. Showers for Adelaide, Melbourne and Hobart, thunderstorms for Darwin, and it will be a wet day in Cairns. Cloudy but dry in New Caledonia and Samoa, showers everywhere else, and some thundery falls for Rarotonga. On Thursday, rain in Fiordland and some patchy drizzle for Westland. It's mainly fine everywhere else, and it stays fine over the North Island on Friday. Rain or drizzle for the west and south of the South Island. Rain tomorrow for the Chatham Islands, then it'll be mostly fine from Thursday right through to Sunday. The weather should be good for the Rolling Stones concert in Wellington tonight. Cloudy, fresh nor'wester, temperature in the mid-teens. That's all from me. Have a good evening.
Thanks, Karen, you too. And while we're watching out for thunderstorms, a different kind of storms causing problems in China. Beijing's been hit by 8 sandstorms already this year, and the latest blown from the Gobi Desert is the worst so far. It's covered the city in a film of dust and forced many people to wear protective masks.
And that is One News this Tuesday. Now here's Susan with